What's up, everybody? Taylor here, going on a little ride into town today. Figured I'd shoot another video, talk about some stuff, ride a little, see if we can't find some dumb drivers to point out. Just the usual, my friends, just the usual. Anywho's, gorgeous day out, as most of my days here in Florida are. They're normally pretty good. Got some bikes out. This crazy ass intersection, man. They need to hurry up and finish. I'm surprised nobody else has really wrecked out here. That'll be fun when it's done. Anyways, just riding into town. Actually had a couple topics I actually wanted to go over today. I know, crazy, right? But like I said, I actually had a couple topics I wanted topics I wanted to talk about. Actually, semi-organized. Luckily, I have the girlie. She's my brainstormer there. But I figured I'd talk about my experiences riding thus far. And whatever little tips, by no means am I a pro, but whatever little tips that I can give to the new people that are, you know, either wanting to get a bike, have a bike and just starting out, or that, I mean, maybe some things that they just haven't really thought about. But now I've been riding since 2013, so about 2 years now. I mean, by no means a long time, especially compared to other people riding and other people you may watch, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't help it when I started. The fact is that I have started and I'm on a bike. But I've been riding for 2 years. In that time, I've been hit once. I have not high-sided, low-sided. I have not dropped the bike. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but it just means I have not done it yet. As I stated, I have been hit once. I was stopped at a red light, waiting for it to obviously turn green before I went. There's a car in front of me, and coming up behind me, there was a truck. He just straight up hit me, rear-ended me, dead stop, pushed my bike into the car in front of me. So it was enough force that once he realized he hit and he, you know, slammed on the brakes, it still pushed me into the car in front of me. Which, just from the impact and how it ended up going on it. Now, if you have a picture in your head, post a picture like right here of what the accident was, so I can further explain it. But you can see underneath the, well, I guess where the whale tail is, which for those of you who don't know, most people get fender eliminator kits and they eliminate that little fender that sticks off the rear end of the bike. It just cleans it up a little bit. Well, you know, some people refer to that as a whale tail, but the truck ended up kind of fitting right in that spot and kind of catapulted me off. But it kind of catapulted me off and I kind of flew over the car and hit the hood, and then somewhere in the process of hitting the hood, went to place my hand down and I actually ended up breaking my wrist, that is. But I was catapulted off of my bike, broke my wrist, nothing too fancy. I mean, people have been in a lot worse, but that was my one experience. And then if you guys check out the little channel trailer I have, you can see where the girlie wrecked and wiped out. Hers, she got a little more road rash than I did. Didn't break anything, but she tore her legs up pretty damn good, which sucks for her. It messed the bike up a little bit. Surprisingly, didn't mess it up that bad. I just had to order a driver foot peg. So not that bad. Got out of that fairly decent. Hard part's gonna get her to give him back on. But those are our 2 experiences so far. She's only been riding for, she maybe got her endorsement a month ago. I mean, not a long time at all. We got her a bike about a week after that. So she rode for probably about solid 2.5 weeks or so before she wrecked. Which sucks. I mean, that's a lot of discouragement for new riders. is when you wreck, or you just gotta hope that they get right back on it. I mean, some people, they wreck and they give up. That's it for them. And I don't think I'm gonna have that issue with her. I hope I don't have that trouble with her. I think I'll be able to get her back on. It might take a little bit, but I think I can get her back and going, so I'm not overly concerned. There's some tips for some new riders. Mainly, before you do anything else, you got to get comfortable with the bike. You can see, I mean, you can look up on YouTube, plenty of people, they'll go out to an empty parking lot and they'll practice finding the friction point or the friction zone, whatever you want to refer to it as. But it's where you're re-engaging the clutch enough to move. They'll go out there, they'll practice that. They'll practice like little turns in the parking lot just to get used to it, to get the hang of what they're doing. Well, they'll do that to get the hang of it until they get comfortable, and they'll slowly go out and riding. It's probably recommended that if you plan on motovlogging, I would wait to do it until you're comfortable with the bike, until you're comfortable with riding, I should say. Because as probably many people have stated, talking is a distraction. And when you're starting out, the less distractions, the better, because you don't want anything impeding your driving. So you want to get comfortable on the road. You want to almost make everything second nature. You know, observing all the cars around you so you can almost anticipate movements that cars are possibly going to make, as if, you know, someone's possibly going to pull into your lane, or even watching behind you. See, like this guy, I don't know what this guy's doing. You just want to watch cars doing, you know, watch for turn signals, watching for cars merging into your lane, which might possibly make my motovlogs a little more annoying than most. Some people I've watched are pretty steady. They don't really move their head a whole lot. And unfortunately, just because I'm observant of what's around me, I end up making really quick movements, and it might cause a little, it might cause a little motion sickness. In other cases, just because I'm constantly observing. I may have rear mirrors, but I don't rely on them. No foot down. But just paying attention around you, watching vehicles in front of you, you know, slowing down, pulling out in front of you, possibly pulling into your lane. Also, I mean, safety goes further than just also watching the cars around you. I mean, there's also some proactive things that you need to do too, like, you know, constant regular maintenance on your bike, making sure, you know, your tire pressure is good, your brakes are good. Also wearing proper safety gear. That'll also do a lot to help you as well, in regards to, you know, gloves, helmet, you know, some sort of jacket with CE approved armor in it. Same thing with pants. Do not take my appearance as good enough. Really, you should wear some sort of, you know, pant with some armor in it. You know, actual riding shoes that'll offer some ankle support, as well as some armor around the shoe so it doesn't, you know, tear your shoes apart, as opposed to my Nikes that I'm wearing. Watching for debris on the road, watching traffic stopping in front of you, making sure that nobody's gonna come up. Why are you stopping so far back? But like people on their phones like that, sitting right next to you texting. I'm sure that that means she probably texts while she's driving. And that's what you need to watch out for, is dumbasses like that. Because they'll fucking hit you. And guess what? They're in a car. They're not going to get hurt as bad. Their insurance will take care of anything else. Well, it's called a fucking accident, but you need to watch out of them. That's the worst part right there. Also, weather conditions. You know, if you're fairly new, fairly unexperienced, especially riding in the rain and stuff like that, you know, check the weather before you plan on going out riding, before you're, you know, really comfortable. And even then, I mean, riding in the rain is really miserable. I know there's a lot of people, you know, where it might be their only mode of transportation, but if it's not, and you're not super experienced, and I mean, you just don't feel like getting wet and uncomfortable, I mean, don't ride in the rain. Especially if it's really worse. Not only because, you know, you're concerned about your own safety, but I mean, other, you know, cars in the rain too. They have reduced braking. People are stupid in the rain. I mean, that's just, you're putting way more risk for nothing, for getting wet, when you could just wait. I mean, I get it. There's some times where, you know, an entire week is rainy and, you know, it sucks. I would think safety comes first. Also, knowing where you're riding too. Like, I'm concerned this chick's gonna pull in front of me. I'm sure there's a shit ton more of safety tips I can give for new riders. That's all I can think of right now. I gotta get a little more organized. So for now, guys, that's all I've got. So I'll talk to you later. Bye!